They ain't even really let us get into our bag yet, basically.
Nah, they did it. They did it. We got a long way to go. But
That's wild.
we still have come so far. We come so far, but we still got a long way to go.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, just think about it. Like, being in this space right here, this is literally where we started. Literally. So to be here and to know that we're not the same people as we were before, and we're so much more farther along, I think that's just something to be proud of, or something to be proud of. Because bro, we don't get here by mistake. Look at what we got in front of us.
That is true.
You know?
Impact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. My muscle tough as the hustle, the numbers is just that. And I'ma keep winning and sit back. I love the feeling of killing them with that. Attacking the process, tackling topics, master synopsis. This the residual impact, yeah.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio.
And your man, JaMichael Moore. And we are the Residual Impact Podcast.
Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves.
And it applies to the community.
Let's grow.
Beautiful thing.
Back in the building again, my friends. Give it up for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Like we never left.
Hey, you ain't never lied. Well,
Yes,
never mind.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't be it. That would be a lie.
Yeah, that would be.
It's an evil world we live in.
That would definitely be a lie.
That would be a lie.
But yo, what's been going on, man? How you been?
What's popping? Man, it's a lot actually. Every time we say this is,
Bro, don't remind me.
it's always a lot that's going on in between. I guess if we can start with most recent, then if you want to do that, this is my birthday month, so I'm celebrating a birthday this month.
Happy belated birthday. Happy belated. You know what I'm saying? Definitely good to go through that. You feel me?
Yeah. It feels great.
It does.
It feels good.
Especially when there's a trip involved. You feel me?
For sure. 1 year older, got to experience it, got to bring it in with friends and loved ones. So that's always a blessing. I think.
Cheers to that.
I think you were there, man.
You think I was there, or was I actually there?
Man. I mean, it was kind of.
I'm incognito. Don't put my business out there. Don't put my business out there.
But yeah, it definitely feels good. Being a year older, man, growing in wisdom and overcoming a lot of different things. I'm grateful for. So to be here, to be at this place, to be experiencing some of the new life changes that's happening, I'm grateful. So we'll see what the future holds, my brother. We'll see what the future holds.
That's what's up, man. I'm happy for you. Yes, of course, I was there on the trip. It was definitely a great one. And it's crazy because I wasn't initially going to go only because of a situation, of course, that happened, earlier this year, really roughly over the last few months, when the funds was kind of low. And then, of course, I started gaining income again, but I had to play catch up. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what my next vacation going to be. Let me go ahead and, take these days off. Let's go on this trip. Let's have a good time. We had a great time.
Well, great time. I kind of went a little too hard the very first day. Had to recover. Man.
Listen.
Man.
A little too hard is an understatement. Yo,
bruh.
There were bets made. There was money put on the table. Somebody swore.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Swore that they were going to be the last to go to sleep.
Man, look, I was by the end of the night, I could not move. If I moved, I was like, yo, I'm throwing up. That's where I was. But it was such a blessing because, bro, like I felt so like safe and taken care of, no matter, you know what I mean? Even though I was at the point where I couldn't do nothing for myself. I could not function for myself anymore. But to know you're around like loved ones, like, bro, I woke up, covers are on me, pillow, woke up to some breakfast, you know what I mean? Yep. Like, bro, what? So I was just grateful for that, man.
That was definitely a memory because, bro, I don't remember where y'all went. I think y'all walked to the store or something. Yeah. And you was lit. Bro, I don't know how you made the walk and came back. But I was sitting on the couch watching a movie, and then you came in and talking about I love this movie. You sat on the couch. Next thing you know, it's like, yo, I'm up, man. I'm up. Put your head down. You was closing your eyes. I'm like, it's over.
Oh man, it didn't take very long.
Not long at all, man.
It did not take very long. So yeah, man. But I had fun though.
I did too. It was a great weekend for sure.
It was.
It was. And you know, not to make this all about me, but of course, it's like last year, or really earlier this year in the recording, I remember stating that last year I didn't go on any trips, none at all. This year, I've been on 3.
Look at that, bro. Clap that up, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a major thing, bro.
3.
That passed by.
One, of course, was to a place that I had never been before. Actually, 2 were to places that I'd never been before.
All right.
The first one was to Myrtle Beach.
Shout out to Myrtle Beach.
I'd never been to Myrtle Beach before, but that was back in June. You know what I'm saying? I did that. The second one was my very first time out of the country.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
What you was on?
I was on a cruise.
Hey.
I was on a cruise. It was my first time on a cruise.
I always went to cruises.
Of course, man. It was definitely a great experience. And for sure, like, just looking at this topic that we had, I think the last time you and I actually recorded in this space, which, by the way, if you guys aren't watching us on YouTube, if you guys are just listening to the audio, we are back recording in a familiar space. But we'll get to that in a little bit later. For those of you guys who are watching us on YouTube, you know exactly where we're recording because this might look a little familiar to you guys.
Stomping ground.
Especially if y'all have been with us since day one.
It's the old stomping ground. For real.
But yeah, man, the last time you and I recorded here, we talked about cruises and how I had never been on a cruise before, how I never left the country, and you kept encouraging me to go on a cruise, go on one.
I really want to do a cruise. Cruises to me are the best way to just get away.
Yeah, that'd be lit.
You don't have no phone. Well, you can use your phone, but you don't really have a lot of service. All the food, all the drinks, fun. You know, I mean, I like to be in that casino. But other than that, man, I just want to get away, man. I think it's relaxing.
You know, I've never been on a cruise before.
Dude, you should go. You really should go. Seriously. I think you should have like a lady friend with you.
That's the thing that I've been thinking about lately. Is like, if I go on a cruise, I don't want to go with my mother.
Yeah.
I don't want to go with my siblings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to go with my boys. If I had to, then sure I would. But
Yeah.
I want, you know what I'm saying? I want a vacation, you know what I'm saying, on a cruise.
Yeah.
But I don't have a babe right now.
I
You know what I'm saying?
feel
So
that.
I'm taking applications.
I definitely would say if you can't go with your girl, definitely bring your boys, because that you can still have fun with them too.
Yeah.
You know, especially if all of y'all are single too, you're definitely gonna have a pick of women and just a lot of people that want to have fun and just party and different things like that on the ship, man. Yeah, I definitely think it's worth it. You'll have a time of your life, bro.
And I was supposed to go on a cruise with y'all, you know, earlier this year, like back in February.
For sure.
And it was just so last minute for me that I wasn't able to go because I couldn't room with anybody.
Right.
And my room by myself.
Yeah, you would have been spending.
Bro, it was going to be $1,300.
For the small. For the literally, you were going to be down there at the bottom too.
Right.
It wouldn't have been worth it.
It definitely wouldn't have been worth it.
Nah.
$1,300 for that? No, thank you. So, yeah, man, I skipped out on that one, but doors open. You know, of course, one of the highlights of this year that I've talked about often on the show. Met somebody, you know what I'm saying? Great woman, amazing woman. I tell her that all the time. And we've just been going on adventures together. And the cruise was definitely one of them.
All right, no, man. That's like well, you already know I promote cruises all the time. So
Yeah.
I love them, bro. So I'm glad you got to experience that, especially with your lady too. I mean, that's like the best. To experience a cruise and then also to experience it with your significant other. That's an experience.
Next time I just want to possibly, you know, explore a cruise with, you know, some of the bros, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, that would be the next one. Like,
yeah, it's got to be the next
friends.
one. So we can not get into trouble, put it that way.
I mean, yeah, we ain't got to get in trouble. But, you know, yeah.
Emphasis on the not.
Yeah.
Getting into trouble. But that's neither here nor there. But yo, with all that out the way, first and foremost, we skipped quite a bit, like we normally talk about on the show.
Didn't talk about house rules, bro?
We didn't.
Oh, wow.
I know, it's been that long.
Man, house rules in the house. Actually.
So first things first, thank each and every single one of you guys for tapping into today's episode. It's definitely been a long time coming. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. That means a lot because our YouTube audience has grown. Of course, if you guys listened to episode 70, you would know why our YouTube audience has grown. But shout out to each and every single one of y'all watching us on YouTube. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss when we upload a new video because We are constantly putting videos out on YouTube in addition to the podcast episodes. Also with that, please be sure to leave your comments down below. We love having conversations with you guys. Make sure you share the videos that we post. Make sure, we have constructive dialogue in the comment section. I know some people out there, they love to hate, whether it's just on us or on the topics that we talk about. Hey, as long as we keep it positive, as long as we keep it, friendly, nobody going at each other's jugular or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep the conversations going and make sure that they're well and make sure they contribute something to the conversation for real.
That's a fact.
Yeah, right. Also, shout out to each and every single one of you guys who are listening to us on the many audio platforms that we are on. Please make sure you leave a review on your respective podcast platform. We would greatly appreciate it. It definitely goes a long way. It's absolutely free. It just takes maybe a minute or two of your time. Go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating. Go ahead and type why you gave us that 5-star, and it'll help us push through the algorithm. It'll help other people discover the show. And of course, if you guys like us, other people are going to like us. If you guys love us, I'm sure other people are going to love us too.
What he said.
Bruh.
What he said. So, brother, since we're catching up, how was the month instead of the week this time?
It's sheesh. As of this recording, we are about to head into December, so that's really wild. How October just flew by, November just flew by.
That's a fact.
I remember when November started, and then we blinked.
That's a fact.
And then December is next week. So
Lord.
The month so far has been kind of busy with work. I will say that, it actually kind of feels good to say that because I haven't really said that in a while. You know what I'm saying? It's been pretty good and busy due to work. But because of the holidays and because of the new position that I have or the new job that I have, work has been kind of stressful because of the workload. And, of course, what I do for a living at the moment. And because of holiday, it's just that time of the year, man. It's busy. I'm pulling like 10-hour plus shifts and stuff like that, multiple days a week. And to be honest, I'm not going to complain. Like, I could complain, but I'm not going to complain because this is something that I technically asked for. I asked to be employed. You know what I'm saying? I went through a dry spell where I was not working for quite some time. I fell behind on quite a bunch of things because I really had to exhaust my savings to kind of support myself. And now I'm in a point to where I do have income, finally. So it's like, what is it that you want? Do you want to go back to being unemployed, or do you want to complain about the employment that you do have? Right. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say, the month has been great, but I'm grateful for it, even though it has been somewhat stressful and somewhat busy due to work. Yeah. I still have a lot of catching up to do, but that's coming, man. I ain't worried about it.
I'm proud.
Thank you. That's called growth.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
It's good. Feel good to be back, though, man.
It definitely does, man. And the crazy thing about it is just us taking this break. Of course, it wasn't something that was planned. Yeah. Even the last break wasn't planned. But seems to be something that's kind of like reoccurring throughout this year, especially as we get closer and closer to the end of the year. Just makes me wonder what's actually ahead.
Greatness. I think greatness, as long as we can stay consistent, which I believe we still have, even amidst, all of this changes. I think that there's no doubt that we were going to succeed, basically. Because I think a lot of people, they look at us and they're like, yo, wow, y'all got all this, y'all still doing that. We still have people that are waiting to be interviewed by us, and when I tell people, yo, I got a podcast, and they're like, oh, really? Oh, how do you do this and how do you do that? Or, how'd y'all make it this far? And you don't even think about it, bro. We've done something.
We have.
People know our name. That's the thing, bro.
That's definitely a blessing in itself. I definitely get that. People know our name. People know about us. Even at my job, I've been telling my coworkers about us, and we got new people tapped in. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? One of my coworkers was like, he was scrolling on our Instagram and looking at our clips and stuff, and his girl walked up behind him and was like, "Who is that?" They look kind of, they look professional. It looks professional, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo,
not showing love,
and I told him, I was like, yo, we still shooting video on our iPhones. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. They didn't even really let us get into our bag yet, basically.
Nah, they did it. They did it. We got a long way to go. But
That's
I mean,
wild.
we still have come so far. We come so
Yeah.
far, but we still got a long way to go.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, just think about it. Like, being in this space right here, this is literally where we started. Literally. So to be here and to know that we're not the same people as we were before, and we're so much more farther along, I think that's just something to be proud of, or something to be proud of. Because yeah, bro, we don't get here by mistake. Look at what we got in front of us.
That is true.
You know.
And I was going to actually save this for later on in the episode, but I guess since we're on the subject, we can talk about it now.
What's up?
Setbacks. I mean, we've already kind of touched on it a little bit. Like, we've literally taken quite a few breaks this year. I remember earlier in the year, I mentioned that I wanted to be at 100 episodes by the end of 2023. And the plan that I had laid out, all of the times that you and I have stayed behind and we've recorded 2, maybe sometimes even 3 episodes in one sitting.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That was part of the plan.
Yeah.
For us to do that and for us to edit, shoot in bulk, edit in bulk, and then drop maybe 2 episodes in a day or 2. I mean, it's not in a day, but 2 episodes in a week or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the plan. And it's like, yo, if we do this correctly, by the end of December, we should be at 100 episodes. But with all of the setbacks that we've had, of course, I've talked about this before, and I touched on it a little while ago, me being unemployed for a little while and the funds not really coming in the way that they used to. And then, of course, us losing our old recording spot that we've been at for like a year and a half. We talked about that in episode 70. And, of course, the latest spot that we had to say peace to. Mike, if you want to touch on that a little bit.
Man. Well, basically, as this taking this journey of entrepreneurship, I'm learning a lot through it. And the original building that we were going to move to, which was also going to be a location where I was going to operate my business out of, we basically got bought out. Somebody went behind the owner's back, and he went to the guy who owned the entire complex and said, yo, I got this amount of money for you, and I know these guys are not paying this amount. So, hey, it was one of those things where we were put in a situation where it's like, well, we could either pay this amount or we could leave. So, we just made the decision where it wasn't necessarily worth it to pay that amount that they were trying to charge. It was overpriced. But so we was just like, hey, everything happens for a reason, and brought us back here. And I think that there's still something better. So, yeah, that's what happened. Right now, we back to square one.
Literally. So, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, again, for the people who are not watching us on YouTube, so you don't see where we are. But for those of y'all who are listening, of course, to the audio, we are back to recording at Mike's place. You know what I'm saying? This is where we started recording. This is where we recorded episode 1 to 25.
This is one of my places, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to say this is my place. We're just going to say one of my places.
Yes, sir. So, essentially, this is where everything started. I mean, Mike pointed it out just a few minutes ago, but humble beginnings again, man. I think the last episode we shot here was episode 38. But I don't remember why we had to shoot here instead of shooting at our previous recording spot. But essentially, we shot episode 26 all the way up to, I think, 69 at the juice bar. Mm-hmm. So we were there for a long time.
Yeah, we got a lot of episodes.
A lot of episodes out of that building.
Bro, what? We got a lot of
Spoke to a lot of different guests out of that building.
Yeah, man. What? Yeah. We definitely got our money's worth.
So from recording all of that in that one location to recording episode 70 in the previous building, where, of course, Mike just told the story about how we no longer have that spot, we're not giving up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people could look at this and be like, yo, all of these things are essentially counting against you. Why are you still going? Why are you still in it? Why are you still pushing forward? Why would we stop? That would be my question. Why would we stop after all the time, all the energy, all the money, all the sleepless nights staying up to edit, all the sleepless nights staying up to record 2-3 episodes back to back to back, having episodes with the two of us and then having multiple guests come through, and it's just like, we tired, boss. And we're still not giving up. And it's just crazy because something spoke to me, man. I was scrolling on Instagram not too long ago and actually saved this video that reminded us of our situation. I was going to call it a predicament, but it's not a predicament. It's just a situation. It's what we're going through. It's a season. So I want you guys to take a listen to this, take a look at this, check this out, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Sometimes God slows you down so that evil ahead of you will pass before you get there. Remember that your delay could mean your protection.
So, Mike, man, you heard that message, you listened to that. What comes to mind when you hear it? I mean, of course, it's pretty straightforward, but what do you think about when you hear that message?
I think about my current situation when he says your delay. It just makes you think about all of the work you are currently putting in, and you might not necessarily see the reward, your version of the reward necessarily. It makes it seem like it's delayed, but like you said, it's for your protection. It's actually to make sure that you're more prepared for what it is you actually asked for. So that's all I'm realizing. If you ain't got it right now, that's specifically for a reason, because that means there's some more work to be done. And it's protecting you. God is like, he wants to give us something, and he wants to have it be sustained in our life, not here today and gone tomorrow. So that's what I get from that message right there.
Bet. Hey, definitely, man. I didn't quite get that same message that you did, but I'm glad that message spoke to you in that way, because like I say often, man, different strokes for different folks. Just because, you and I heard the exact same message doesn't mean that we got the exact same thing from it. But of course, the main thing that he was talking about was how, something could be ahead that you weren't even supposed to get to yet. And it could hinder you from moving forward in the future. Like, yeah. I didn't think about that. It's like, yo, why did I lose my job this year? Why did we lose our first recording space? Why did we lose our second recording space? Yeah. Why did we take so many, literally months off from recording our show, to where people kept asking me, yo, when are y'all putting out the next episode? When are you putting out the next episode? Like, what's next to come for you guys? What are y'all working on now? I didn't really know what to tell them. I mean, other than we're still working, we're not giving up, but it's just like, what if we kept pushing? What if we kept going at the pace to where we're doing, the bulk recordings and stuff like that, trying to hit the goal of 100 episodes at the end of the year. And one of us just gets completely burnt out where something happened, or both of us get so burnt out that like we can't do this anymore. I'm done. I'm tired. Like this ain't paying off. Like it's not worth it. Or even worse, like we work so hard thinking that it's going to help us get ahead that it actually puts us further behind, to where it's like, yo, we end the year off with episode 70 or episode 71 and nothing else comes out of this until like spring of next year. And it's like, I didn't think about any of that stuff. Us slowing down the production of this show is not necessarily a bad thing. It could be really placed in our lives because, I don't know, man, like we probably were going too fast that we would have smacked into a wall, and it really could have hurt us.
I didn't even think about it like that. But yeah, that's true. We could have overdid it, overworked ourselves, all of that.
So one thing I want to say with that, ladies and gentlemen, is like, y'all need to make sure that, of course, the path that you're on to where it is that you want to go, where it is that you feel like your calling is. I mean, if that's truly your calling, you will get there. Don't worry so much about the pace. Don't worry so much about how quickly you get there, because let's be honest, man. I mean, we're all in this together. We're all doing life together, in this world, on this planet. Just because somebody else might have gotten there in a month doesn't mean that you're going to get there in a month. Just because somebody else might have gotten there overnight doesn't mean you're going to get there overnight. Like, everybody has their own steps. Everybody has their own journey, their own path to get to what they feel is success, or to get to where it is that they feel like they belong. Take your time, but also while you're taking your time, make sure that you're still working. Don't overwork yourself, but make sure you still got motion. Make sure you still have that motion, man. Don't just give up at all, because like we talked about in a previous episode, many, many, many episodes ago, a quote that I heard talking about if a shark stops swimming, then they will drown. That's like, how many of us really think about that? We don't, because not many of us have heard that saying, but it's like, I read about how, I think it's some sharks, I don't think it's all sharks, but how like water is supposed to pass over their gills. And of course that's how they breathe. But if they stand still, you don't have the water passing over their gills like the water would if they were in motion. So they would suffocate if they just stayed in place.
How they go to sleep?
Maybe they don't sleep.
That's wild. Never thought about that.
I don't know.
Do fish sleep? Dun dun dun. Till next time.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
That's an
if you
interesting
decide to
question.
research it.
Did you know sharks can drown if they stop swimming? Sharks, like the great white shark, stop receiving oxygen if they stop swimming. They only get oxygen through water passing over their gills. Even when sharks are sleeping, they are often swimming forward with their eyelids open so they get enough oxygen.
Interesting I think it's an understatement with that one. I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
I never thought that question would even come up
You know what I mean?
in my mind.
Do fish sleep?
Bruh. Maybe we should title the episode.
Yo, what? That's one of the ones, bro. People like, what?
This guy. It's gonna be like, yo, how did they get that title?
We never was considering that. You know what I mean? You never really thought about that. 32 years of living, bro.
Oh man, this is a little longer for me, but only like a year and a half.
Wow, we gotta find the answer to that one.
I mean, what's stopping us? We got these tablets right in front of us.
Nah, I like to be surprised. I want to see what the people come up with.
Comment down below. I mean, of course, Mike's antics might be a Mike, but hey, if you guys know the answer to this, comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube and let us know.
Please do. I want to know this. Do fish sleep?
This guy.
I don't think they do. I think they do. I think fish sleep. Fish sleep. Everything sleeps. Everything rests. If God had to rest, everything got to rest. You know what? I'm going to put that logic on it right there. There go the answer. I don't need Google. He just gave it to me right there. Look at that. Boom. Boom. Watch. That's a fact.
Okay. Hey, I'll take your word for it, man.
Got to be, bro.
Again, this wasn't a question that was on my mind.
I know.
It just happened to come up. Like,
I know.
How did we even, I remember how we got here, but yeah, the shark quote. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Moral of the story is just keep swimming. All right.
That's a fact.
Don't got to worry about swimming too fast, because hey, there might be some danger ahead of you if you keep going too fast. If you're not experiencing some type of delay,
don't give up. That's all I got to say. You're a lot closer than when you very first started. And it's like, why turn around? Only reason, I think I heard something this week. Somebody sent me, it said, only reason you should look back is if you plan on going there. So, what you looking back for? So that's how I look at it. What we going back? What we going back for?
That is true, man. Because I mean, the topic actually came up as well when we were in Orlando. Like, we were walking from Starbucks and we had the conversation about everything that we've gone through as far as the podcast goes and where we see ourselves going. Mm-hmm. It's like, why would we stop?
Why?
70 plus episodes in. Why would we stop?
We are ahead of, not to compare, because really care to compare. But just
comparison is the thief of joy, my friend.
Just to put it in perspective of where we are, like,
that's a fact.
We have overcame like a statistic of, you know, people don't even reach 10, let alone 50, you know, let alone 70.
Right.
Bro, we've done 70 episodes.
It's crazy.
Plus the videos that you've made too, I think. And then not to really include, you know, I guess, do we count the bloopers as a video too?
Why not? I mean, we worked on it.
Bro, look at that. Like, it's just, I don't know, bro. That's hours and hours of content, man, that if you do 70, at least say we did 2 hours of shooting, or let's say an hour and a half, 1.5 times 70. What's that math? You're looking at about 105 hours worth of content that we have shot so far.
Sheesh.
Bruh. Just to put it in perspective of those of you that want to start something and you might not be seeing the quote unquote payout yet, we have shot over 100 hours worth of content, and we have gotten paid once. I will say that. So I won't say we haven't gotten paid. I actually still have that money hanging up, believe it or not.
And that's crazy that you mentioned that, because I thought about talking about that this episode. I remember last year sometime we were talking about goals for the year, right? We were talking about 6-month goals. And I think it was when we were still doing the question of the week. So one of the goals that I put out there was I wanted to be monetized by April.
Look at that.
And essentially, the first time we received money for the show was in April.
Look at God.
Yo,
Look at him, man.
like straight up, it was in April. We received that money that you still got hanging up. Like, that's wild.
Look at that, bro. But then sometimes it's like you don't, when it doesn't happen maybe the exact way you want it, you be like, oh man, it didn't necessarily happen. Because I'm pretty sure when you thought monetization, you was thinking YouTube. You know what I mean? You want to get that YouTube money. But God was like, okay, nah, like that YouTube money's still coming. But I'm gonna give you like I'm gonna just give you a little hint or a little taste to show you that, hey, you're on the right track and I still got what you asked for. And that's what he did by, you know, allowing the guests to pay us.
And with the actual monetization, that didn't hit. Like the residual monetization, the repetitive monetization didn't hit till September. You know, it was a few months away from April, but we still accomplished that this year. So I'm grateful for that.
That's a fact. I'm grateful, man. I think that it's a beauty in the process. It's a beauty in patience. It's a beauty in not having it yet. And I'm noticing it's not necessarily about getting just the thing, bro. It's about who you become. Look at who we have become. We've actually become very valuable in this space. So much so that, like, I meet people nowadays and I'll tell them, hey, you know, I'm on a podcast, and they'll be like, well, how you do this? And hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? And it's like now you become an asset to people. You become valuable because your consistency just to not stop at something and to continue to do it has taught you something that other people now see value in. So yeah, that's what I've been noticing, B.
I dig that, man. We definitely valuable.
I'm telling you, man.
And people going to keep paying us.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, bro.
One way or another. And that's not to say that we're strictly in this for the money. We've talked about this before. We're not strictly in it for the money.
Clearly.
We always knew that the impact would come before the income. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
But unless you already have like worked hard on building your following before you start a project like this, you can't start something like this and expect to get paid the next day.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen overnight, man. You have to be willing to grind for months, years, even before you even see a dime. Before you see a dime, bro. It took us almost 2 years before we saw our first $20.
Dang. 2 years for $20.
And then even after that, like, it took us 2 years and a month before we saw, or maybe 2 years and 2 months before we actually hit YouTube monetization.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But the cool part about it is too, even though it took so long, it was like when it happened, it was like, man, it's like all the time that was spent to get to that place, pale in comparison.
It just meant so much more.
Yes, exactly.
And with that, I kind of want to go into the next topic that I had on the docket for the day, and was just like, this was just a shock to me when I found out about this, because I mean, I know some podcasters out there, they don't even listen to other podcasts, but I listen to other podcasts. You know, I definitely love listening to podcasts. I don't listen to music for the most part when I'm in my car. Definitely got to listen to, you know, people speaking that real. And of course, sometimes I'll listen to podcasts for entertainment, but other times I want to learn something from other people or hear other perspectives, different perspectives, that is.
Yeah.
These young ladies, I have never listened to an episode of their show, but I have listened to a show where they were featured guests on the show that I listen to often. And this is the Know For Sure pod. Now, for those of you guys who are familiar with comedian B. Simone, of course, y'all may know her from like Wildin' Out, or some of y'all may know her from, you know, her being on Instagram and kind of coming up in the Instagram comedy world with Desi Banks. She had her own podcast, and she had it with a co-host. And then recently, within the last month or so ago, I remember hearing about how they no longer they didn't want to have their show together anymore, because supposedly B. Simone just wanted a business relationship with her co-host Megan instead of an actual friendship. There was audio that was kind of circulating all around the internet, you know, when they were talking. I think it was in a deleted episode of Know For Sure pod, but check this out.
Now or before?
Just in general, throughout our relationship.
It hasn't always been the easiest, no.
Okay.
It hasn't always been the easiest.
Okay. Well, I'm open to the truth now. We ain't got no option now. We're going to have to, you know, I'm open to that now. I'm verbally saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, like I said, I think when you realize some hard truths about yourself, and that's already a hard thing to deal with in general, just like being open and honest about you, and then having to be open and honest when there's so much uncertainty, that's a little bit uneasy. That doesn't always feel good. Even though it's necessary, it just isn't easy.
You're saying uncertainty as far as where we're standing?
Yeah. It just feels very uncertain.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with like me saying this is how I feel, this is like being very upfront with that?
As far as what?
Our conversations and stuff. Like, do you feel like I'm not clear when we have dialogue on where I stand? Or
I feel like, I mean, without trying to divulge too much, I feel like in recent conversations, you've been very clear about wanting a business relationship only.
Right.
So, and I think that that's going to be very difficult to navigate. I just think that conversation is difficult. I don't know how you go from somebody being, you know, such a good friend to I don't want a relationship with this person anymore.
Well,
ever.
I never said I don't want a relationship.
Well, you said I want I just want
to focus on the purpose.
Yeah. Well,
which is Know For Sure.
I often feel like I'm just picking up pieces as they fall. So
me too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I at least wanted to hit on that and talk and be honest with y'all. And obviously y'all could probably feel the energy anyway. So it's no need to not address it. Yeah, we're committed to going to therapy and working on our relationship.
Just after listening to that clip, it was, I don't know, man. I don't really have the full answers of what I'm looking for. But again, I guess it's kind of as simple as B. Simone just wanted to have a business relationship with her friend and business partner, Megan Ashley. And I guess she no longer wanted to have an actual friendship with her, which from what I've heard, man, they've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Now, I saw this other clip from the That Scary podcast. Shout out to fellow podcast host Melanie Walker. She actually shed a little bit more light on this situation because, again, I'd never listened to No For Sure Pod. So I didn't really know the backstory. I just, of course, know of the two ladies. I know of B. Simone, and I've seen her on Wild 'N Out, and I only know of Megan Ashley because of the podcast that I listen to essentially religiously. Shout out to See the Thing Is Pod. They were guest stars on that show on one episode. So this is what Melanie Walker from the That Scary podcast had to say about the breakup.
In the whole entire YouTube, I only found like 2 videos talking about the subject. And they had a very popular podcast, which is very surprising that there's not more, reports or commentary on their breakup. But I listened to audio from B. Simone basically just saying, I just want to be business friends, not real friends. And it's sad because Megan Ashley was her assistant. They had been best friends for 20 years because they always say that in the podcast. And B. Simone kind of wanted her to come from behind the scenes and come to the forefront of the scenes. And it just didn't work. It just really, really didn't work. And it's sad to see. But I really want to know what happened. I'm not going to lie. I want to know. I'm just really curious to know like what happened. Now, I know that Megan Ashley went through a really bad divorce.
So that clip was kind of cut a little short, but she was essentially talking about how she knows Megan Ashley went through a really bad divorce before, like months or maybe even like a year before the podcast ended. But I don't know if that could have been a part of why No For Sure ended.
Sorry to hear that.
I don't know, man. Just check on your friends. Make sure that you guys are still in good standing if possible, or just be there for each other, no matter what. I understand that people change. People are not always going to remain the same, and your friendship may fizzle out. Your friendship may dwindle. But if that's the case, should you really mix business with your friendship? I don't know.
That's a good question. Because there is a very thin line, though. But I think you can have a friendship and business, too.
I mean, obviously, we think so because look at us.
I'm not your friend, bro. I'm sorry.
Bruh.
Got him.
I will say to that.
Stop the cap.
Because we know that that's a lie. Real quick, what is that you got in your hand?
Oh, this is right here. I'm glad you asked. This is black-owned fruit juice to go for us and by us. This is an all-natural fruit water product that has no preservatives, no citric acids, nothing like that. And it has real fruit in here. It has organic sugar cane to give you that organic sweetness that you would love to help your body process real sugars, not fake sugars. And it has a fruit that has different benefits in it. So, yeah, you can get this at... Oh, you can't get this in store. Guess where you can get this at? You can reach out to us at Fruit Juice To Go on Instagram, or you can reach out to us at Fruit Juice To Go Gmail if you would like to. I don't know why you want to place an order that way, but you can place an order that way. Or you can just DM me. You can DM me if you want to and be bit back to me. And he can get a profit off of that too. He don't know that. He just learned that. But
learn something new every day, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, hit me up. Send me the bread.
Y'all go support Fruit Juice To Go, man. We on the go. And
support us. I mean, in supporting Fruit Juice To Go, you definitely support us. So I will say that. But hey, back to the topic at hand, man. I know that was a little impromptu. I just saw you waving it in front of the camera.
Hey, man, that was perfect. That was actually a perfect time, man. I like it.
But yo, like, I really do think that you can have, business and a friendship. Of course, if you work at it. Mm-hmm. I know I've talked about this on the show before, but I remember when we went to the Roommates live show last year.
Yeah, you did.
I spoke to the roommates at the end of the episode.
For sure. Shout
out to Hafiz. Shout out to Chris. And I'll never forget, man. I talked to Chris about their success. And I asked him, like, yo, what would you say would be some advice that you can give to a new podcast that's just started and just coming up? At that point, we weren't even like a year old yet. And he was like, no matter what, make sure you put your friendship first.
I do remember you saying that.
Don't put, of course, anything other than God, you know what I'm saying? But don't put anything before your friendship. Not the money, not the fame that you may receive when you're climbing up, the podcast charts. Don't let any of that come in between the friendship that you have with your business partner. And I'm fortunate to say that, you know, you and I are actually friends, even though you tried to play me a few minutes ago. You and I are actually friends. We've been friends since we were teenagers.
Yeah.
It's safe to say that you and I have known each other for about 20 years.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah.
You don't think about that. Wow.
You don't.
That's a long time, man.
It is a long time. You and I have known each other for about 20 years. Yeah. We've had many like adventures in the business world, especially like to where you and I pretty much founded entrepreneurship together. Like our passion for entrepreneurship, we pretty much found that together. Just being on that journey, being in rooms with 6-figure earners, 7-figure earners, shaking hands with them, getting insight from them, like getting some of their numbers, their personal numbers, and you know, being in contact with them and learning the game and stuff like that. You know, we've come a long way and we've done a lot.
Yes, sir.
You know, especially as far as learning goes on this business journey.
Yeah, bro.
But man, friends for 20 years. And she was once B. Simone's assistant and brought to the forefront. Like the young lady Melanie said, like, I want to know the full story too. Maybe we're not meant to know the full story, but it's like, what happened? Why is it all of a sudden that you just want to be business partners? And this is not, you know, an episode that I want to dedicate to them. It's not. But as podcasters, as friends, this is something that I think could really apply to us because I think it ties into what we talked about minutes before, where it's like you don't want to go so fast that you run into any potential dangers ahead.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Because in this situation, I went on these young ladies' YouTube channel and it looks like they only got up to 84 episodes of their podcast. And they started after us, but they were like super consistent with it. Of course, you know, as far as I'm concerned, B. Simone doesn't work a job, you know, she's on TV, you know what I'm saying? And she does stand-up comedy, so she doesn't like work a 9-to-5 like you and I. So I guess she could afford to just do constant bulk recording and of course pay somebody else to edit from the jump. And, you know, they were good. They were consistent all the way up to episode 84. And even I think the episode that was deleted, so 85 episodes, let's say. They made it to 85 episodes and essentially called it quits.
Yeah.
So I'm just, you know, again, trying to see or trying to figure out like why, I mean, were they not keeping their friendship first? Because I mean, I don't want to make this like a male and female kind of thing, but I know a lot of women end friendships over like the most simplest things, like, oh, you know, they didn't come to my birthday dinner, or she tried to upstage me at my birthday dinner, you know, wearing a dress that was more flashy than mine, standing out, you know, more than me type stuff. Like she tried to outshine me at my own dinner. Like I've actually seen friendships between women end over stuff like that.
Petty.
Very. So I don't know, man. Coming from a brother who knows how to speak to people and actually does it well, what kind of message would you have for these young ladies if they happen to stumble upon this episode?
Well, if they were to stumble upon this episode, hello.
What's good?
If they were, I would say first and foremost to try to find some common ground as far as just outside of business side, you know, try to find a common ground as far as people go. If they've said they've been friends for, did you say 20 years or that was us?
Well, I said you and I have been friends for almost 20 years, but according to Melanie from her podcast, when she was reporting on this, she said that they had been friends for 20 years.
Yeah. Okay.
And she said that the ladies actually said it on the show.
Okay.
Multiple times.
Okay. So yeah, so I mean with a friendship of 20 years, I mean I would think that this is not the first time y'all have had a disagreement about something and y'all have overcome it. So I think that y'all can do the same thing. So I would just say focus on the friendship first. I mean the business side, I mean business. You can start a business up tomorrow again. So it is unfortunate that y'all made it up to 85 episodes and decided to call it quits. But I think the most important thing is to reconcile the relationship that y'all have with each other. I would say try to focus on that if y'all can, because life is too short. I'm pretty sure it's something small, something that's just a miscommunication.
Yeah,
I guarantee it. But I know with women, it's a little different. It's a little bit more emotional. It's gonna go a lot bit more in depth. But yeah.
And of course, that's not a slight to women. So anybody thinking that, get your head up.
No.
Get your mind out of that.
That is a fact that women are more in tune emotionally than men.
And we get that. And even though we do get that, and even though some people out there, even the ladies who are listening to this get that, some way, somehow, somebody will find a way to try to spin what it is that you just said and try to paint their own narrative, call us misogynist, whatever the case may be.
You just seem very misogynistic, realistically.
Yeah. What is misogyny? Why are you using words that you don't even know the definition of?
No, that's not what I meant.
I think you are misogynistic, though.
So what does misogynistic mean, though? Like, just so I know what you're calling me.
Okay, so the reason I said it is just, again, based on the
That's just the internet. That's the world that we live in today. We could be trying to help everybody the best way that we know how.
I can say I love women, and then they were like, "You're a sexist."
Bruh. That's a fact. So, hey, again, that what he said was not a slight to any women at all. You know what I'm saying? We just keeping it a buck.
I'm just honest. I love women, so I'm sorry.
That's a fact. I do too. Even though I'm taken, I still got love for y'all. You feel me?
Thanks for clarifying that, because you was gonna get in trouble after that.
Hey, I ain't trying to get us canceled. We ain't even make it to 85 episodes yet.
Man, you ain't gonna get canceled by the outside people. You gonna get canceled by somebody else.
Exactly. So I just hope for healing for those ladies, you know what I'm saying? And any other podcast that's going through something similar. Like, if you guys decide to go into business with your friends, please keep your friendship first.
Yeah.
Don't worry so much about, little disputes, little arguments, little disagreements, or even like big disputes or big disagreements like money or something like that. Don't let stuff like that come in between y'all. Because I can tell you now, man, Mike and I, we've had our discussions when it comes to like finances and stuff like that. And, granted, things have been kind of slow for me as far as income this year. But, hey, man, I'm bouncing back. I'm getting there. We're going to be good.
We are.
And even after we are caught up and finances and everything is all gravy and, a lot of the stuff that we've seen or talked about coming true actually do come true. Mm-hmm. We ain't even going to be worried about finances, man, because we're going to have more bread than we can count.
More than enough, yo. More than enough.
So we're not going to let something like, a few $100s, a few $1,000s get in the way of a friendship that we've been in for almost 2 decades, man.
A long time, man.
Money comes and goes, but friends are forever. So keep that in mind. And again, I wish nothing but the best for those ladies, healing for those ladies and anybody else going through any similar situations with your friends and your business partners. Please settle that ASAP. Keep it pushing.
Amen.
Mend your friendship, because that's important. That's more important than money.
Well said.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
For sure.
Anyway, this episode's going on long enough, man. You have anything else you want to say to the people today?
Don't give up on your dreams. You're the only one that can see them right now. So if you give up, how else everybody else gonna see it? That's about it.
Do you want to say that a little louder?
Nah. They should have heard me. No. I was just gonna say, don't give up on your dreams, man. If you give up on them, nobody else will ever see the vision that you see. So yeah. Always believe and continue to see that vision and bring it to fruition. Yeah, that's about it.
Bars.
Bruh. What about you?
I said a lot this episode, so I don't really have any other takeaways other than just, if you missed any keys in this episode, make sure you start it over, because I said a lot. I said what I had to say, and if these mics weren't so expensive, I would drop it.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but that's it. I have nothing more to say.
Thank you, God, for sure mics, because we didn't always have these mics.
Bruh.
Just got to say that, too.
We used to struggle with the microphones, man, and the audio quality was not the best.
Nope.
And even though we have these mics now, like these XLR mics, I know the quality can be even better, because there are better quality mics out there than these. However, the people can hear us loud and clear.
Yeah.
And, that's all that matters.
That's it. So, yeah, man. I'm grateful. We back for another one, man. We back in general.
Yeah, well, the consistency is going to be back too, for sure. Like, I'm not going to worry so much about, having a place to record because, even if it's just got to be us without any guests for a little while. Even though we do have another spot that we can record at.
Yeah.
We do have guests.
We can get a guest in.
We'll make it happen.
We'll vet them properly.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure y'all send us some money.
Cash App, all the information is down below. So if you haven't hit up that Cash App yet, please do so. Support your favorite content creators because this is something that we definitely plan on making a career. And it's not all about the money, but of course, with the money that you guys provide, or the money that you choose to donate, you don't have to donate, but the money that you choose to donate will definitely help us to be able to knock out more of this content so we don't have to keep taking breaks.
That's a fact.
So we don't have to worry about pausing and disappearing for like months at a time to recoup our money, to re-up, because we do still work. You know what I'm saying? We haven't reached the pinnacle yet to where we can quit our 9-to-5s and do this full time and provide you guys with the content that y'all have been asking for. And, you guys really have been asking for it. So we greatly appreciate it.
It's coming.
So yeah, support your favorite content creators. That's all I'll say with that. And
where you are today
is the residual outcome
of the thoughts you had in the past.
Straight like that.
Till the next time.
Peace.
Bye, mama.
Peace.